We're live.
Hello, everybody. It's Thought Process back at it again. Another episode. This is our number 7. Um, here with my co-host Greg. How you
How's
doing,
it
brother?
going? Doing all right. Just trying to learn this new system.
So we were supposed to be streaming since 1 p.m., but we had a few technical difficulties. But here we are.
Yeah.
How was your week? How was your 2 weeks?
It was all right. Did a lot of cleaning the past 3 days. Pulled everything out of my room and cleaned from top to bottom. I even did like the windows and everything.
How do you feel? How do you feel now?
Dude, I slept so well. I don't know if it's because I was tired or if it's because everything was clean. Because Robert actually, he had sent I think it was like a Snapchat, like a couple months ago about cleaning his air filters for his air conditioning and his screens, and like he showed just like what was on there, and he was just like, "This is what we're breathing in." And if he didn't send that, I probably wouldn't have even thought about cleaning my windows.
Yeah, it's so crazy how much dust it'll accumulate in a short amount of time.
Yeah,
Every week.
like I
It's
clean the floors in my room like at least 4 or 5 times through the cleaning process, just because you're like, okay, like there was one thing that I missed and I was so mad about it, and if I do it now, I just got to clean everything all over again. I forgot to dust like the corners of the ceiling.
Yeah.
And I looked, and it's not that bad. Yeah, it's not that bad, but maybe I have to go get a Swiffer sweeper. I do. I forgot to do the fan too.
Dude, because right when you turn on the fan,
Yeah,
all
it's
that
gonna
dust
spew
that
it.
settles on top of the blades,
You gotta get the Swiffers. They don't just like wipe it all off. It sticks usually.
Yeah. Yeah. So at the place we're at right now, we gotta clean like every week. Otherwise, if we skip 1 week or something, like more than a week, it'll look like we haven't cleaned in months.
Yeah.
Just from all the dust, like all the dead skin that accumulates over time. It's nasty.
And then when you open your window, you still get more dust coming in.
Exactly,
so it's like,
dude. And then it mixes with the old dust, and dude, my allergies have been crazy.
But if you get something to dust the small stuff, though, it'll be easier. Because then you can just do the small stuff every day, and it's not bad.
Yeah.
But then you got to do it every day.
Yeah, sometimes you don't have time, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, man.
How was your week?
It was pretty good. Just been working like always. Put you through one of those rigorous workouts that I do.
Yeah, but I didn't eat. It would have been fine if I had eaten that day. But no, I was tired. I couldn't.
You felt good afterwards?
No, I didn't feel good. No, I felt like I was going to throw up.
So Greg, you did what, 80% of the workout?
Yeah, I think it was the last like set, which was 3 or 4 sets of 3 workouts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, the circuit training really does it. You just get drenched in sweat. You build up that lactic acid. You can't move. You're so pumped you can't even move.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been good, man. Work has been good. Nothing new. Just grinding. Today I went to do some community service. So we went to a place where you go and pack up lunch for people who need. So basically, you put boxes together and they ship them out.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like spaghetti, like the sauce, like apple juice, milk, things like that. So it was good. I felt kind of good being one of the only ones that knew how to work a pallet jack. So. My warehouse experience came in handy today.
So it wasn't packing meals; it was just packing like different types of food into like a little like care package for someone.
Yeah, it was like a care package, like a box. So, I was doing like the pulling on like the inventory, like all the big heavy stuff with the pallet jack, with the pallets and everything, and then we had a team of people decondensing the pallets, like breaking them down and. So it was pretty fun. We did today in 2 hours. I heard at the end of the 2 hours we packed up 360 boxes.
Mm-hmm.
That's a ton of boxes.
Yeah.
We did a lot.
Yeah, we used to do something like that, but we wouldn't pack them up individually. Essentially, we used to go to like hotels where people would live in them, and we would set up with the different like long lasting foods. So you have like bags of pasta or cans of this or that, and essentially we either told them to bring their own bags or we had some bags as well. And then it's just they walk down the line and essentially grab what either they wanted or they just grabbed like one from each thing and then they would go.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when I was maybe, I would say 10, 12. There were times where we didn't have too much to eat. So my mom and I they would take us she would take us to the local church where they gave you like bread, like the essentials. They would have like eggs, milk, bread, cereal. And it was like first come, first serve kind of thing. But man, like those days really helped.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it gave us the cereal for the week or the eggs for the week or the milk or whatever. So I've always appreciated that. But today, man, I felt really good afterwards. You know, after I thought we were going to be there for more than 2 hours, but we were only able to be there for 2 hours. I guess they have different shifts, like different people that come and volunteer.
This was for Boy Scouts, right?
Yeah, for Cub Scouts. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I used to do that.
So it's one of those projects for the year so that the kids can get their badges.
Yeah, so you have your like your different levels like school. So you have like first grade, second grade, third grade. So it was probably people from at that age. I think they call it a pack, right?
Yeah, so it's a Cub Scouts. It's a pack. It's like a pack, and then I mean, I still don't know all the ranks, but they go from like Cub Scout to Scout to
it's Cub Scout, and then Boy Scout. But then you also have like Weebelows and what is it called? Yeah, they had like the different like ranks, but it was pretty much based off of either age or like first, second, third, fourth, fifth. So
yeah, and like by grades, right? By age and grades.
Yeah, majority of the time it was based off of your grade. You would stay with the same people within your class.
Yeah. So. It's weird now because when he's not my kid, but it's one of the kids that I wouldn't say legal guardian, but I kind of take care of them once in a while. I just had a brain fart. I just lost my train of thought.
Who you were going with for the Boy Scouts?
Oh, it's weird now doing it for 5 years. Seeing the transition where it was all boys to seeing like one or two girls in there.
There are girls in it?
Yeah, so I think it was like 2 years ago. There was like this thing that was passed where in the Boy Scouts, you have to allow girls now.
It's okay.
It doesn't make sense because I think that Girl Scouts already have their own like.
Yeah, they do similar things, but
they have their own organization. But
yeah.
For some reason, they want to be all inclusive now. So, who knows?
See, some of that is a little weird because, like, I was gonna start talking about. Have you ever gone to that thing that I think they do it once a year, where like all levels of Boy Scouts, like Eagle Scouts, they all go and they take their troop or pack, whatever they call it, and they set up like a booth or like a some kind of like event. Yeah, it's kind of like a big carnival for Boy Scouts. Not outdoor ed. What was it, Scoutathon or something like that? Mm-hmm. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I think I know. I think I've never been, but I think I know what you're talking about.
They were pretty big events. Like the last one I went to, they actually had Mountain Dew there. Mountain Dew flew in a helicopter, and they were giving out free Mountain Dew. Oh, shit. There was professional like. Not they're professional artists, but like the effects, like where they put like a big scar on your face. Effects? Yeah, and it was really good. And then there was different things. Like one of the scout troops built this giant box. It was 3 stories. It was pure dark inside. There were no windows, anything. and it was a maze. You had to find your way through. You had to go up, and then you had to come back down. It was the funnest thing
That
ever.
sounds pretty cool. That sounds like the one of the tests that you had to take when you were trying to become a firefighter.
Mm-hmm.
They'll put you through a smoked out a building where you can't see anything and you have to wiggle yourself out of there.
Yeah,
So that sounds like a lot of fun, man.
it was. And then they would do like competitions, but like they do things where you go out and you camp. Like,
Oh yeah, they have a lot of camping trips this year.
I mean,
I
if
didn't
I
go
thought
to
about it, you would have to go with your parent, as far as I knew. So I mean, I guess it wouldn't matter if there were girls wrong. So I was gonna say, how are you gonna bring the girls and have them in the same like tent as
Yeah,
all
I
the
mean,
boys and stuff?
honestly, I'm a big believer. Like now, being exposed to the scouts essentially. I would want my kids to do something like that when they come.
Yeah,
That would be something fun for them to do.
I hated
But
it.
I don't know what I would do if I had a girl and she would have to go camping. Like I wouldn't just send her with anyone.
Yeah,
I'd probably have to be there.
yeah. I didn't like Boy Scouts just because of the uniform, like having to wear it at school.
Because you're a rebel.
No, but it was the same thing as everyone who wasn't in the Scouts. Was like, oh, you're stupid. Look at that uniform, that kind of thing. So it's something that
Dude,
you
you
just
know
don't
what?
understand that then. But there was a lot I learned. Like
People
I had a
just-
knife before anyone else. Like I shot guns before anyone else.
Yeah.
Like so. I mean, there's good stuff for it.
But people are just haters, man. They're just haters. And some people, for some whatever reason, they just hate on. If you're doing something out of the ordinary, they'll just hate on you.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, wearing that uniform, I would think that you would feel kind of proud, like you're part of something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
Like
it,
a
it
community.
just
like
seemed a little weird.
pack.
The uniform was a little weird.
I guess because of the shorts.
The
shorts?
shorts and the shirt and the badges and everything. I don't know.
Yeah, it's very militarized, right? Like the military.
No, it was a lot more.
Basically,
I mean, it's kind of
I
the
think
same
what it
concept.
is-
You get your sash that holds all your badges on it,
I think
but
what it is just that it's structure. I like the structure of it.
yeah,
Like I think it resembles a little bit of the military. You get your badges for passing, for doing things, and courage, helping out the community. So you get to do things like today. Like we went out and the kid he had to break down boxes, pack, like he had to do everything. I told him, like, you have to go try everything, like uh, do the spaghetti, go do the milk because it's heavier, go and break down the boxes, put them in the baler. And then the thing that he enjoyed most was the boxes.
mm-hmm.
But then he understood what hard work is. He's like, man, he's like, are we gonna get paid for this? I'm like, no, dude, this is your community service. We're doing this for free. You're doing this to help people. So that was pretty fun. But yeah, man, like I don't know, I just feel like a lot of people nowadays or everywhere, they just have to find a reason to be upset at something and to hate on something. After actually driving here, you know how like the freeway entrances are sometimes a little weird.
Yeah,
It'll say
like
make
right
a left,
here.
make a left, but it's like the second left or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, I got stuck. I was on the right side of the lanes, and my entrance was on the left, on the other side of the left. So I put my blinker, but I didn't go. I wasn't an asshole. I didn't go, right?
Yeah.
I put my blinker, and I was waiting for this dude to pass by. Two cars. The first one passed by, didn't say anything. The second guy slowed down and started beeping, like if I was gonna get into his lane. And just road rage, bro. And I was like, okay, man, like I get your point that I'm not supposed to crossing this much, but I didn't swerve onto your lane. I already knew you were there. I slowed down, and then you had to slow down. Come on, dude. So we caught up at the red light. He put his window down, and he's like, bro, you didn't see me. I was coming like 30 miles an hour. I'm like, dude, relax. I saw you. I obviously didn't go onto your lane. I told him, relax, dude, relax. He was so hyped up. He wanted to fight. So he kept going, right? He kept going a little bit. There was a red light, and then we missed the second green light. So I was there again, like one car behind him to his left, and my light turned on first, and he put the window down, and I put my window down, and he was gonna say something, and I was like, "Hey, bro, have a good day." He didn't say anything, and which brings us to the point of today. That's how I killed him with kindness, and it's something that I've been doing lately. It's something that I've just been practicing a little bit more. It's like, why feed the situation and make it worse? I had plenty of stupid times where, I mean, I never really road rage, but I got into like some arguments with people in traffic. But it's because I was younger. I didn't think anything of it. But today I was like, nah, man. I'm like, you know what? I'm in the presence of this kid. He's supposed to be looking up to me. I'm his guardian. I'm not gonna put down the window and start fighting. So I was like, hey, bro, have a good day. And he stayed with the cigarette in his mouth, like dumbfounded. It was funny, man. So that's how I started my day.
I do that when my son's in the car and I'm driving, and then all of a sudden just someone wants to stop really quickly so they can get out of like the carpool lane, and I'm just like, yeah. He's like, what's happening?
What, you yell?
Yeah.
You yell at people?
He's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, man, but you know what? Like, we're never gonna get rid of those people.
Well, no, it's also just there's no reason to get mad. Like, you're gonna stop or you're not. If you stop, then you're good.
Yeah.
Nothing to.
You know what I've also figured out lately is something that I've seen. Smart cars do not fix stupid people at all. They're just stupid people with smart cars.
Yeah.
They're still the same. I still have trouble with some people with Teslas that still have no idea what they're doing. It's like, man, if you have no idea what you're doing or where you're going, that's why Elon Musk created the autonomous vehicle. Just put it on autopilot. Don't worry about it. Jesus. I'm sure the car would do much better than you, you know?
Yeah.
But stupid people cannot be fixed, man. Stupid cannot be fixed.
Would you agree though that having a car that can self-drive is good?
You know what? I don't know. I don't think that they've been around enough for us to see any implications that they're not good. I think that they're, for me personally, if I was able to afford one, I think it would be a big stress reliever. Because even though you're not like grabbing the steering wheel, you're supposed to be like grabbing the steering wheel and keeping an eye out, you still get that level of what do you call it? Like serendipity. Like you're calm. You're not worried about hitting the brake. Like one thing about driving here in Southern California, man, is traffic. It's just awful everywhere. You can't go anywhere. The only day that's good is like Sunday. It's easy here in like Orange County.
Yeah.
But if you go to LA, it's the worst day to go. Sunday, because everybody's out. No one's working. It's Sunday. Nobody works, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's out. So there's traffic everywhere. And being a car guy or whatnot, I have to drive a stick shift, and that shit does not do it in traffic, man. Like your clutch foot is sore by the end of the day. You're on the clutch all day. It's hard. So for me, if I were to invest into a like electric vehicle, I'd definitely get a self-driving vehicle, just so I can get that headache out. Because if I don't have to have that, I can think, I can reflect on my day, I can meditate, I can do something else other than having to worry about people driving in stop and go traffic.
But see, though, won't that still be going on though? Like the stop and go traffic is still going to be there.
Yeah, but I don't have to pay attention to it. Like if the car can drive itself.
Yeah, but like, how simple is the push the pedal, stop? Like, I understand it's more work and like the angle of your foot and all that, you get tired. Like, that's fine.
I think it just takes more mental space because you have to be on alert.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't just relax. If you're in a self-driving vehicle, it'll do the driving for you. It'll stop. It's actually
because it's like being a passenger, and
it would be like being a passenger. Like
because you don't get tired from, like, it's like you could be the driver on this long trip and then you get in the passenger seat, but you were so tired, and then you're in the passenger seat and you just stay up and start talking to the person. Yeah. And they're like, "Can you drive now?" And you're just like, "I'm tired."
Right. But if you're driving, like, just how exhausting is that? Like, mentally exhausting.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like, you have to be on high alert all the time. Your head on a swivel, looking out for motorcycles here. Now that it's summer, it's one of the craziest things.
Yeah. Well, it's like, I don't know, because everyone's talking about the AIs and stuff, because that's considered AI, right? Because it tells itself where to go.
Yeah, it's a form of AI, but it's not a general AI.
Yeah, it's not the AI that you would assume, as in it's going to talk back to you and tell you.
Yeah, I guess what it is, it just has a bunch of data of other people driving, accumulated into its servers, and basically you have access to all that. Like the car itself has access to that data.
Yeah, because people are scared of AI for this and that reason. Because they're thinking like the whole Sarah Connor Terminator thing, that they're going to take over the world.
Like Skynet. And,
yeah. But I was listening to something about it, and like everyone that enjoys their phone, they like to use it. And, like, there's those people who don't like it, but they're not like super like anti-phone. Like, they're not like, oh, the phone is going to kill you, this and that. They're just like, I don't like phones. That's fine. But people will hear like the AI, and it will teach you things, and it'll tell you this and that automatically, and people are embracing it, and they're gonna start liking it.
Well, I feel like AI, and I've heard this on a couple of different podcasts. Basically, it's gonna get rid of it's gonna, when things become autonomous, it's just gonna be like a big stress reliever. Like, it's gonna take over the jobs we don't want to do.
Yeah, it's gonna make you
like labor.
It's gonna make you feel good. It's gonna make you not need to want a lot of things.
I don't know. I don't necessarily think that it'll ever get rid of that.
It's gonna take away accomplishment.
No, because I don't think that we get accomplishment from working. I think we get accomplishment from doing something that we like being creative. And we just heard this on one of the podcasts with Naval. He talks about how when people have free time to do other things than sitting in an office for 40, 60 hours a week, they can do something else with that time. Like, what if they want to do what if they'll become entrepreneurs, and they want to do something with their time, be creative, solve other problems that can't be solved with AI. I think that's what's going to happen, or at least that's what I think people are looking forward to.
Yeah. Well, it's one thing that I heard about it, about how like the bigger companies have the technology, and they're the ones who can control it, and they're the ones who send out the information, and eventually it will be few people who can essentially control these AIs. Everyone else is just using it. So I was thinking about that, and about how we talked a while ago about the Bible.
Yeah.
And like how you were thinking about if it's a tool of fear. And I was thinking about the Antichrist, and how the Antichrist is supposed to bring everyone together, and people will follow him. But then I was also thinking, does it ever say that the Antichrist is human? It just says it's Antichrist. And Christ is not a human.
Right.
So could AI essentially be an Antichrist?
Well, it may be.
Because
Like,
people will follow and listen to it and it'll feel good and
but AI, I mean, there's a lot of different aspects of it. AI, like it's not all general.
because
It's not like all one thing.
it's being born,
Well, like for instance,
and then
like,
no one actually has to give birth to it, like in a sense of like, I don't know, Mary and Joe gave birth to the Antichrist. That's freaky.
That's too much.
Now someone just created it and it took it in, because it goes along with a lot of people's like thought about how like the world is like simulation or like similar to that kind of an aspect. Kind of goes along with it.
But
Because like I've always thought that like virtual worlds, like video games and stuff, are still kind of like a world. Like it exists and it's going on right now, even though we're not a part of it. It is stuff that's happening.
So actually, one of the things that I have on my notes is, now that we're on this topic, 3 days ago I was playing these video games in VR.
Mm-hmm.
So I played 3 of them. I played a Batman game where you essentially become Batman. Holy crap, man! This dude, you get to suit up, you get to shoot batarangs, you get to do you have like your grappling gun? It's insane. And
did you have things to like use, like a controller
like
that felt like a gun or
basically,
something?
Basically, it was like I think it was for it should have been for the Xbox. Xbox, what is it? The one Xbox One, Xbox.
I don't know what the new one is.
I'm not sure which one it is. But essentially, you get like 2 remote controls. They're kind of like sticks with like the sensors at the end with lights, and they've got triggers. So when you hit the trigger, you're in the game. You're essentially making a fist or grabbing. So if you
so it's trying to deceive your mind into thinking that you have it, and so you feel like you're actually doing that.
Yeah, so, dude.
And what do you call what is Satan? What is the Antichrist? The ultimate deceiver. I just say, dude, it's a long stretch, but like and it also says like, sure, if you don't believe in the Bible, none of this matters. But like thinking about that kind of concept, like the ultimate deceiver, like there's talks about like cockroaches in the sky. People think it's helicopters and this and that. And then he says that
cockroaches in the sky.
Yeah. There's something that says that there's lotus. Sorry. Maybe. I swear it was grasshoppers.
They're lotus, yeah.
Is it lotus? Yeah. Something like that. Yeah. And so it's just hearing things like that. And then I'm saying no one will ever know when it's going to happen, like when God's going to come back and all that. Like it has to be something that's new and no one understands and no one knows.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess there's a lot of aspects to that debate, like, or to that argument. There's people who don't believe in anything. There's people who believe.
It's generalizations because you can't explain something that doesn't exist at the time.
Yeah, so that's what we were talking
about.
That would be
a deceive. You're trying to be deceived by something to believe that something's going on. It's freaky.
Like the video game, like being in another...
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you this, man. It was freaky being in that because, dude, like you were able to put on the mask, and then you had the Batman vision, which is like you get holographic vision to pick up basically like fingerprints, and you're a detective now, and it's crazy. It's just so crazy. I could not believe it.
I haven't used any of the new stuff. I like years ago there was those ones where like you stand on a pad and you would go in a circle, and sometimes the floor would move a little bit, but it was more or less like your guy was still standing still. Just your body felt like you were moving.
Yeah. So
these ones, everything like you feel like you're going that way, and
yeah, dude.
Even when you are standing still.
In fact, you're not even supposed to sit down on a seat, like, or a chair. You're supposed to sit down on this like yoga ball, like the Swiss ball. You remember the ones we used for
to stabilize
to
yourself, so you
stabilize
feel like
yourself.
you're still moving.
Yeah, so you're kind of, it's like,
There's still movement.
yeah, there's still a little bit of movement. You feel like you're moving. Um, like breathing was still second nature. Like you don't really think about like, oh, I'm in this game, I need to breathe. Nothing like that. But there were instances where I was losing track of time. Like I was going through this game and I just wanted to finish the game. Like it was kind of almost like an addiction, you know. So I played that one. There was a demo for Spider-Man: Homecoming where you put on the mask, and then you basically like shoot the webs out of your hands and stuff.
Yeah.
So you press the trigger and now you're like shooting the webs. It's crazy, dude. It just you can tell it's fake. You can tell it's fake, but when you're on a skyscraper and you're looking down at the street, it feels like you're looking down from
you understand.
100-foot building.
Yeah, you understand it's fake, but you can feel
kind
it.
of feel like you're tricking your mind to feel this stuff. So I don't know where VR is going, man. And we're only in 2019.
It's like that feeling of like those glass buildings where they're really high up, or they're like right on the cliff, where they do the glass floors, where it's like there's something there, and it'll hold you up, but like you can't get rid of it.
Feel like you're gonna fall, right? Yep. Yeah. I mean, what is the future of this VR stuff, man? I don't know. It kind of freaks me out. Like, honestly, now I'm starting to believe that one day I'm not going to say we, because I think this is going to happen to our kids if they're not careful, and to their kids. Like us, I guess we were blessed in the way where we're growing up with technology and we have to understand it. We're looking at the beginning of this VR experience, and we also understand that real life is out here. This is real life. But I don't know if our kids are going to be able to distinguish between VR life and then this life, and whether they're going to want to live here instead of out in there, Like, what's going to happen? Are they actually going to get plugged into the Matrix?
Well, it's like how like before, like the whole, what's that one movie everyone likes, the dancing movie, where they Dirty Dancing.
Yeah.
How all the old people were like, "Oh, you can't dance like that. That's evil."
Yeah, it's evil.
It happens with everything and every age. We see the next big thing as this stupid little thing. So
that's
like,
That's
how far is it that we're just thinking in that sense because we see younger people doing something we think is stupid, or are there actual like threats to it? And that's where it becomes hard.
Honestly, I don't know. I don't know if it's ever going to get as good as this. Because if you think about it, if you really think about it, they're mimicking real life.
Yeah, but I mean, I've said that plenty of times. Oh, it's never going to get better than this. It's never going to get better than this. And then a new thing comes out. New thing comes out. New thing comes out. New thing.
Game and I can't believe I'm throwing batteries.
This medicine now gets rid of the plague, and like so on and so forth. Like there will be advancements. There's also going to be bad things that come from it. So like,
but what I'm saying is like, I'm not sure because the whole thing of it is doing things that you can't do in real life, like throwing batteries, for instance, or jumping a skyscraper. Like you can't physically do that in real life. So in that regard, I understand where the technology is going. Like we want people to experience this. Like one of the things that would be interesting would be like training. I'm sure they do this for training, like for military, for police. I heard about things.
Oh, have you seen the virtual warehouse that I don't know which police station did it, but they built a virtual warehouse and they're bringing in people from other states to train. It's a big enough warehouse. So what it is it's a group training. So they have, I think they probably have specific people there. So it's a police officer. And they have like, it's similar to a regular gun, but it just has the sensors on it to shoot, and they put them in different scenarios, and they have someone follow them so they can walk around freely however they want, but they have someone follow on a specific side so they know who who's
Right.
there,
Right.
and just to make sure they don't run into a wall or something. And it was the craziest training. They can practice school shootings. They can practice like invasion, like home invasion, or different things like that. And they can have the scenario set up ahead of time, and the police officers don't know like what's going to happen,
Right.
and they can actually have it change, like they have someone on a computer or whatever
Yeah,
it
it's
is,
crazy.
move someone to a different part of the room, so it's random, and they can practice without getting hurt.
Yeah, like
But there's still the consequence
imagine
of
that you
death.
want to jump out of an airplane,
Mm-hmm.
right? But you're scared of heights. You're scared of jumping out of an airplane because, God, who knows how many people die every year from jumping out of an airplane. Well, now with VR, now you technically can do that. You
Yeah,
can jump out of an airplane in VR. Let's say that
and then
the
maybe it
setup
gives you
was
the courage to really do it.
right.
But at the same time, you can say it'll have negative effects where, say, someone wants to kill someone, and then they can go on there and they can do it, and then it gives them the courage to do it. So there's always going to be good and there's always going to be bad of all the situations. And that's why I come back to saying the whole concept of like older people always saying that the newer things are going to change everything and it's going to destroy the world. Yeah. And it like if you, let's say if the Bible was real, there is an end, but when is it going to happen? No one knows. And that's where like everyone will always speculate, oh, this is the new Antichrist. That's going to be this and that.
I think that there's always been that fear in people, like of things coming to an end. I think that's just part of our nature. Like, we've recently heard that. Personally, I've heard that without death, there's no life.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine how boring it would be to be alive for thousands of years.
Okay.
Like, just imagine that. Like, people, I guess people don't think it through to where, or deep enough where they understand that. I mean, look at the past civilizations.
Mm-hmm.
They've arose to power, then they fell. And I think that's cyclical. I think that happens with everybody. I don't think that this is going to be up for everything. Like, I don't, the hell, like everything. Eras, the people change, the cultures are going to change. Technology is definitely a big influencer of how things go. That's the one thing that I am a little afraid of. Like, I don't understand, because we don't understand all of this. We don't understand like this technology. It's growing so fast. We don't understand it. We're not even processing. Like, for instance, if I were to go to an island and you gave me tools to build what is it, an MP3 player, I would not be able to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, we're not an MP3 player era. We're iPhone in the cloud. We're everything's in servers, right?
Yeah.
So if I don't know, I just think that things are moving so fast that the people who do have control over this new technology may be influencing, and I think obviously I think they are, and I think we all already know that. Whether it's going to be good or bad, that's really, I think that's out of our control, like as consumers. And
Well, it. I think there will be good and there will be bad. Like just like with everything. Like I don't know, first person to build the bow and arrow was probably not to murder someone. It was to kill an animal to hunt.
Right.
Yeah, and then someone started building them for war, and so there's going to be both sides. So you build the AI to help with medical procedures, but then someone else is going to use the same thing to help with harvesting someone's body to sell on the black market. Like it's used for the same thing, but it's used for a completely different purpose.
Yeah, I guess it's all up to
It's whoever has it in their hands, and there's good people and there's bad people out there. So,
but I mean, I'm both scared and excited to see what the future awaits.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very interested in seeing how things are gonna come about.
Yeah, and like you said, just kill him with kindness, and maybe the AI won't kill you back. Because can you imagine if AIs got mad and they just are like, screw you, and shut your brain off?
Dude, I don't even want to think about that. But on that note, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode number 7, where we talk a little bit about everything. Again, I'm here sitting with Greg. We'll be here again next week, and hopefully in the next couple of weeks we're gonna have a brand new studio. So subscribe.
Yeah, check us out. We'll be back.
Hit the bell. What is it, Greg?
Yeah,
Hit the bell below the video.
No, it's on the side.
For the
You know where the bell is. I don't know why anyone still continues to say hit the bell on this comment below. Like everyone knows where the comment is. Everyone knows where the bell is.
It's suggestive psychology.
Yeah.
Suggested in.
But I mean, there are new people. Like there are new people to YouTube still. Like people who just are like, I'm never going to use it. But now it's like there's too much information. You kind of have to go there, and that's why people are so mad that they're getting kicked off. But we'll say that for another time.
We're going to leave that for the next time.
All right, guys. You guys have a good one. We'll see you next week.
We'll see you next week.